Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about quarterback Kyle Trask, the 64th overall pick in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft. The man who was at the time seen as the potential successor to the Tom Brady era. However, things did not go that way at all. The team signed Baker Mayfield to compete with Kyle Trask for the starting quarterback position last year. Kyle Trask lost that battle. Baker Mayfield was named the starter, played very well, led the Bucs to a 9-8 record and a playoff berth, a division win, and even a playoff win, and just got himself a shiny brand new 3-year contract. He's going to be with the team for the foreseeable future, whereas Kyle Trask is entering the last year of his rookie deal. And that begs the question, is this going to be the last year of Kyle Trask's time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Now, he is only 26 years old. He will be 26 years old going into this upcoming season. He still has some youth on his side, but one big thing that Kyle Trask has going against him is, one, the big contract that was given to Baker Mayfield. This is a situation that, at least for the next 2 years, Baker Mayfield is likely to be your quarterback going forward. And that's that's just out of the pure contract numbers alone. There is an out in that contract after 2 years. So Baker's going to be your guy, at least for the next 2 years. Could you keep Kyle Trask as a backup? It's possible, but it would make sense to see, for Kyle Trask's sake, what other options are out there. Because whenever you take a look at the stats, folks, Kyle Trask has only been active for 3 games, or I guess has only played technically in 3 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers throughout his career. 10 career passes attempted, folks, in 3 years in the NFL for 23 yards, 1 first down as well. Kyle Trask has not seen any action during his time with the Bucs. And yes, it did make more sense whenever Brady was around. Of course, you're not going to play a guy like Kyle Trask over Tom Brady, but things really became apparent for the worst for Kyle Trask last year again, when he did have, in my opinion, a real legit quarterback competition with Baker Mayfield and ultimately lost that competition. So, man, it brings so many things not into perspective, but into question, right? Can Kyle Trask go to a different team in the future, or is going to explore his possibilities? Yeah, I think that is a legitimate thing. You have teams like the Seattle Seahawks who could maybe look at Trask, the LA Rams who could take a look at Trask, maybe the Detroit Lions could take a look at him, maybe. Well, no, the Vikings just took J.J. McCarthy, so that's not really going to be a thing. Maybe like the San Francisco 49ers, that's just for the NFC teams. AFC, maybe you have the Raiders after this season. The Broncos got Bo Nix, so that's not really going to be an option. Maybe the Titans, but they do have a young potential franchise quarterback in their own way as well. Maybe the Cleveland Browns, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, but really any situation that Trask goes into after this upcoming season, if it isn't with the Buccaneers, will likely be a battle yet again for a job. So it really is an interesting situation with Kyle Trask. Could he stay with the Bucs after this upcoming season? Yeah, it's possible, but right now as it stands, he isn't going to be the starter. That's just point blank simple as that. He's not going to be the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers. It brings the entire reasoning of this selection into question in some ways. Is it a bad pick? You can certainly deem it so at this point. You spent a second round pick, the 64th overall selection in the 2021 NFL Draft, on a guy who was never your starting quarterback, a guy who was a backup quarterback throughout his entire career with your team. That is one thing to be said. However, I think it's also important to state that the original plan for Kyle Trask was like, hey, this guy, you hope he can be the successor to Tom Brady at this point. And it just didn't go that way. And is that because the organization lost faith in Kyle Trask? Is that because the opportunities never really presented themselves? Is that because of Kyle Trask himself and just not being able to really assert himself as, hey, I am going to be this successor to Tom Brady? I think it's a combination of all three. I think that that's fair to say. I don't think it is something that is a black and white situation of one thing specifically led to the situation of this being possibly Kyle Trask's last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it was just an accumulation of things. And I may dive deeper into this overall selection, but at the time, and even now, I still see the reasoning for the pick when it was made, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that yes, this will be Kyle Trask's last season with the Buccaneers. It is very apparent that they have put their chips into the Baker Mayfield train, understandably so, given how last year went. And Kyle Trask is kind of out of luck. He's out of chances. He had his one big chance last year to compete with Baker Mayfield, and he lost. And it is what it is. And now we're looking at a situation where, again, only the second quarterback ever drafted in the Jason Light era is also going to be looking for a new team. So, yeah, I think this will be Kyle Trask's last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is in some ways it is unfortunate that things unraveled the way they did with Trask and the overall selection not working out, but in other ways the Bucs still hopefully found a long-termish answer at quarterback in Baker Mayfield. I mean, it's how you get there, right? Is it unfortunate for Kyle Trask? Absolutely. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he goes somewhere and can be a starting quarterback elsewhere. But for the Bucs, plans don't work out sometimes. And it seems like this is a plan that just frankly didn't work out. But let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. What do you think about Kyle Trask? What do you think about his situation that he finds himself in now going into year number 4? What do you think about the selection that was made at the time? Do you agree with the reasoning that I have proposed? Do you disagree with the reasoning that I'd proposed? Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear it. Also, do you think this is going to be Kyle Trask's last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.